Well, why don't we get started? We got plenty more to do. And quite a bit to cover. Quite a bit. So, sit back, relax. Maybe grab your breakfast or snacks or drinks. Whenever it is in the world. Wherever you are in the world. Because we got some monster girls to talk about. Now, it's a thing that I've done in the past. Way before I rebranded into VTuber. And by way back, I mean like in March. It's still on my old account. Now I've somewhat ditched. Keyword is somewhat because I kind of check it every now and then too, but I don't really post anything there. Because this is pretty much essential focus now. But all in all, I do want to kind of loop things back to what I used to do beforehand. And this is pretty much a capstone of what I had in mind when I was doing the Monster Girl ranking project. And with all that was said and done, I have at least, well, I have in total 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30, 31, 32, 33, 34, 35 S pluses. And if nobody knows my particular ranking or how I have it arranged, they can pretty much check the previous videos on my Blue Shift account. But I can kind of give like a quick breakdown. S plus is basically the pinnacle. The pinnacle of what you want from a Monster Girl. They're not too aggressive and can yield a lot more. But now, with this particular side of the stream, this is going to be focusing more on longevity. Because that's how it kind of goes in terms of like in the dating sense. Sometimes you want to go with a girl or guy you want to have a bit of a casual relationship with. Maybe a fling here and there too. But if you really stick with it, you might see some qualities that you may or may not like. That's why some people have dating just for the sake of getting their fill, and some people just do dating for the sake of looking for a long-term relationship. Now, to put this into perspective, if we're looking for a Monster Girl that we want to be dearly, now, how would I put this? If there's a Monster Girl that you want to be together with your life, you want to make sure that you're getting a really good experience out of it. You want to be able to have that quality relationship that doesn't only rely on sexual favors or anything that is completely sexual, but also something more on the wholesome side, something that kind of has a benefit between two parties. It's not a one-way street. And there are some Monster Girls in my particular S plus ranking that do fit that bill, and I would already give them that from the get-go. But all in all, I'm going to be skimming through their pages and kind of put my own spin on it too, just to kind of break things up and make sure that we're not only minding time, but also get to the proper results that need to be said. As always, I'm going to be sanitizing the information that I come across, so it's a bit less wild, because MGE does not hold back when it comes to describing them. So I'm going to try and find as many bullet points I can cleanly bring forward to the table, so everybody can enjoy. But also at the same time, this is a mature, maybe 18 plus stream. So if you're under the age of 18, get the fuck out of here. You're not mature. You're misguided. Go somewhere. All right. Now let's get some music up and also put up the stream too. And we are... Oh, wait, I also have to change the overall volume mixing. This is not too loud. Gonna get some good neon white in the background. So we are well on our way. Just have some nice ambience in. Okay. We gotta have a strong start already. We have practically 4 strong starts. Four strong starts. Okay, so the asparagus. I'm just gonna do a quick little read. The disposition is practically lustful yet careful. They are avatars of love, and also elementals of water too. They have a really good dance to them, and above all else, they are not allowed to be harmed by any stretch of the means. So let me see. So, the asparagus already has a very caring disposition, and their dance is very, very alluring to the point where it's hypnotizing. You can certainly see they have a bit of a motherly aspect to them. Somewhat of a motherly aspect due to their overall type. like body that they have, the elements that they use. And they're practically, what's the best way I could put this to? The way that they treat their partners is pretty much, the way that they treat their partners is very, very, I wouldn't say one-sided, but at the same time, I could also say that they are pretty much joined to the hip with you. You may never know what their cooking may be like, but I'm pretty sure it's gonna be lots and lots of sweet foods. Or maybe it might be a bit of a change up too. Who knows? But I can imagine that a night in the bedroom would never be boring. It would never be any stretch of boring. And the fact that their entire presence is imprinted into your head means you only have eyes for them. So those who are very monogamous in the dating scene would probably be benefiting from an Asperus the most. And they accept everything with joy and use everything they have to offer love to their husband. And that's like the idea, that's like the dream relationship. I can't say ideal because sometimes you have to have a little bit of conflict and conflict resolution in order to get somewhere, to move beyond that point of complacency. You gotta be able to settle your differences as well as embrace each other's differences as well, right? So Asperus is gonna be an easy EXS. Extraordinary superior. Automaton. Okay. Automatons, by design, are pretty much built to protect people or safeguard certain locations. So if you already have like some experience with modifying robots or modifying weapons or anything of the sort, this hits a really special niche. When it comes down to like those, like the automaton, living doll, or maybe even like the golem too, you can customize them however you see fit depending on the methods that are available. Though if we're looking at a more realistic sense, it's going to be impossible to just upgrade them or do anything to make sure that they are well maintained outside of like the few possible checks you could do. So the relationship that can really come from it is more programmed, if anything. However, there is a point where they have like a backup system. Automatons have a special kind of mode where after they run out of normal energy, they switch to demonic energy, where they can pretty much become a completely different yet organic person. but at the same time, when it comes to resupplying them with energy, you kind of have to do the deed almost regularly. But automatons are definitely the jack of all trades when it comes to relationships. In this, well, sexual relationships, in the sense that, like I said before, you can just customize them however you want. Some people may not be too happy about being called master because it might give off some sort of weird vibe, especially around other people. But they're not completely emotionless either. But they're willing to protect you. They're willing to practically take the line of fire for you. They're devoted. It's just that it won't be as easy to express on the surface with how monotone they are. But I could also imagine the huge cost of maintaining automatons as well. If something kind of breaks down or something kind of goes awry. But the only kind of berserk you would be worrying about is what happens behind closed doors. You don't have to worry about getting choked out due to some sort of programming error because it's a magical circuit, right? It makes somewhat sense. But a slime lead, oh, we're getting to that point. In fact, I have one slime. I think I have a good number of slimes in the mix. Also, what's good, Denso? Azure? Trust me, we're getting to that point. Automaton, I would probably say would stay at S+. I would say is S+. If anybody is willing to kind of disagree on that, what's wrong with getting choked up by a robot? Well, then again, sexual asphyxia is a thing too, so there is that. There is particularly that. But getting choked up by an emotionless robot does not seem to be any, well, there's some people that might like that too. Shit! People in the strange kinks. I judge, but I don't judge at the same time. But I kinda do. Yeah, that's why I had to kind of roll back my statement there, because there are some people that have some really strange triggers when it comes to certain aspects of sexuality and stuff like that. I don't know. It's a wild world. All right, we next have the Black Harpy. The Black Harpy, I had a really good feeling once I started reading their profile. But they kind of follow instinct to a degree, and also look at them. If you see the full picture, if you look at the second link that I have in the rankings, if you do ! ranking, they already got the goth girl or punk girl aesthetic right then and there. Who wouldn't? Who wouldn't? But here's the thing, if anybody wants a family, that's usually the thing when it comes to like relationships. Sometimes it's adoptive family, sometimes it's a natural family, but when it comes to black harpies, they are, without a shred of a doubt, the ones you want to have. Especially if you're in like a very rough area, they will fight to the death for you and your children. As I can read here, black harpies have a strong sense of camaraderie, but on the other hand, they're exceedingly wary of those who aren't friends. They threaten those who approach their nest in an intimidating manner, and if one of their friends is harmed, a flock of black harpies will rush the foreign enemy all at once. They treat their mates and children with especially great care, and if someone were to harm their precious family at that very moment, that someone would be making an enemy of all, keyword, all of the black harpies. If looks could kill, then the sharp looks that would be coming from their countless pairs of shining eyes would do it, and a black swarm vicious to the point of ruthlessness would engulf the enemy. On the other hand, they genuinely smile sweetly and lovingly at their family and express affection by gently wrapping them around their soft black feathered wings. See? If you want a family, go for a black harpy. And you know how it goes. Once you go black, you don't go back. And it don't crack either, too. For all the sisters out there. Yeah, very good indeed. Very, very good indeed. Next up is the bogey. Bogey. Don't let the aesthetic fool you. They may look like tattered teddy bears, but they are something else. But it kind of strikes at a very specific, I wouldn't say, well, no. It doesn't strike at a very specific niche, because you know, the ones that do like the Ada redeems or like the mommy voice for other people would definitely have a nice little time with the bogey. But goddamn, I have to reread this. Given the level of devotion they likely show, it's practically as if their own arms, mouth, and dick engulfing vagina exist expressly to soothe and comfort you. But once the prey sadness heals, this time they spoil their prey, giving in to his every desire, to say as if, "Good boy, here's your reward for stopping your crying." And they start to spend their days having sex. Even after that, they continue to cuddle their prey, consoling them with their body should he ever get sad again. And once it's healed, they resume giving him endless rewards. In other words, to them, a husband is not only an outlet for their passion, but an outlet for their overflowing protective urges. Which means they have chosen that prey as their life partner, the one they'll spend their entire life continually comforting. But here's the thing, the bogey, yeah, you heard what I said. It made me laugh like hell before, and it made me laugh now. But think about it for a moment. What if you're, say, like a veteran who's come from a long tour of war, or has gone through so much shit in their lives? The bogey pretty much exists as the means to neutralize any negative feelings whatsoever in your heart and your mind. It's like that one SCP, the teddy bear that just heals you no matter what situation you're in. If anything, she is a walking SCP. I forgot which designation though. And imagine if it cuts both ways. If you're, and regardless of gender, really, the bogey will always be by your side, no matter what. He'll cheer you up without fail, and also attend to your favors. I'm just making the deal sweeter. That's the intent. I'm trying to kind of recontextualize things so you would have a life partner. I'm like the Monster Girl version of Hitch. That's pretty much what my intention is. But yeah, Bogey is definitely going to be an EXS because of what they can provide. Okay, so that's a the Monster Girl version of Hitch. Yeah. Yep, that's it. Clip it, ship it, make it a meme. I definitely want some more fan art, that's for sure. Especially some redraws and stuff like that, but I digress. But I would say Bogey's cooking ability would be dependent on what you have in mind. Now that I think about it, if they can pretty much read your intentions, they could probably do like some really broken ass home cooking. Say if you had like a favorite meal that your mother made for you, and unfortunately she passed away, the boy could probably peer into your mind and remake or even match it down to the line, down to the hidden spices and everything. Yeah, I can definitely see that. I can definitely see that being a thing. Because I'll also kind of read back at the top form too. That gentle, warm embrace has the power to alleviate the target's anxiety, nervousness, fear, and the like. So no matter how stubborn the person may be, once hugged in those arms, they will want to indulge in their affection like an honest child, spontaneously entrusting themselves to her honest body. And once their betrothed is rendered powerless in this manner, they start relentlessly soothing, consoling, and so on until the prey stops crying and their sadness is healed. Sometimes as part of their process, they take back their chosen, which is what probably gave the rise to the traditional stories and Also, due to either the charm of their devilish nature or the nature of some people. Yeah, this is definitely for the mommy crowd for sure. All right, now let's move to the bunyip. And I hope you like lamias. All right, the bunyip. They are built like brick shit houses. They mostly live by the water too. But they're very timid. Very, very timid, almost to the point where it's rather cute. Slimes, automatons, and for your yeah, automatons, slimes, lamias. They're definitely that. They're definitely there. Okay. I'm trying to find some good detail where I can... Oh, there's an extra. Oh, I guess someone kind of changed around the Wikipedia page so they added more stuff. It's more... Yeah, it's more organized now than the last time I saw it. I just want to see the full image of the bunyip. Yeah. Very fluffy. Okay, they're beings endowed with high intelligence also possess enough reason to suppress their bestial nature under normal circumstances. If you come in contact with, you'll probably catch a glimpse of their quiet, timid nature, true to their character. Oh wait. Alright, I'm back. Power went out for a moment. I heard something from outside kind of sizzle out. Hopefully it wasn't a transformer about to blow, so... Right. In the meantime, I did take a bit of a quick shower, so... What better time than, to capitalize on that. Now to pick up where we left off. We don't miss a beat here, boys, girls, and NBs. All right. We were talking about the bunyip. They're very timid. So, in the sense, they're kind of introverts too. But when you have like an introverted partner, sometimes you have probably the most heartfelt conversations between one another. Because their focus is solely on you at that point. That, and also, there's a lot of walls that are put up between them and you. I can say so myself, because even though I've never been in a relationship and I'm introverted, I know that people that actually struck a conversation with me and actually went out their way in order to talk to me, they're like talking to a completely different person. Because when you look at me normally, I kind of give off a bit of an intimidating look. I don't smile as much. I usually just keep conversations very short because I have no idea what to kind of follow up the conversation with. But if there's something that actually clicks, it shifts. Same with the bunyip. They're probably not the biggest conversationalists out there, but they're more than willing to learn. And once they strike up a conversation, they become a bit more engaged in the conversation, as well as other stuff. Also, this makes me chuckle a little bit. From the way they closely adhere to their husband with their entire body, we can see the obsession with males typical of serpent monsters. But at the same time, seemingly genuine happiness they appear to exhibit as they draw their face close to their husband makes them also appear just like a little girl hugging a precious stuffed toy and refusing to let go. And above all else, their fur is very, very comfy. It never loses its shine or sheen whatsoever. And they're absolute freaks in the bed too. But at the same time, it's afterwards that they just they feel a little bashful. Like oh my god, I really did that? I really did all that? The bunyip, when it comes to actual waifu material, I wouldn't say she's up there. I wouldn't say she's absolutely up there when it comes to like providing or anything else. But at the same time, I would actually despite the timid nature and despite somewhat the also they can be very sexually aggressive on top of that too. That's the other thing. But as waifu material, I wouldn't say so. So if we're going by this particular, I may have to demote her to S at best. S-ring might be the best way. And I'm pretty sure it's gonna be a running thing too, where there's not gonna be that many instances where someone might be demoted below S. All right, let's copy the link. But I can imagine just after a very exciting night, just resting on top of her fur, just casually stroking it, just brushing the fur on her back. I can elicit all sorts of very cute emotions. All right, now the Chimera. She is full package. You want someone who's very confident? She has dragon side. You want someone with very great intelligence and is pretty much quick on the fly? She has that with the goat. And the snake, very committed. Okay. Yeah, they're able to switch between and use these personalities depending on the situation. Yet no matter what, these are only personalities that standard individuals possess. There are differences depending on the character of each individual. There are also individuals among them who have characteristics other than those of the 4 demon beasts mentioned earlier, and the personalities contained within may be entirely different in terms of disposition and thoughts. Also, rarely, there are individuals whose body comprise of a lesser or greater number of varieties of demon beasts than usual, and in such cases the number of personalities also varies. In this way, each of the personalities varies significantly, but ultimately they are part of the same individual. Their knowledge and memories are shared in common, and they'll always acknowledge the same person as their betrothed. Perhaps for that reason, if any one of the personalities become aroused, all the personalities become aroused without exception, including the normally calm dragon personality. So, if you're dealing with one, you're dealing with all. And those memories, they could flood in a variety of different ways. Furthermore, for whatever reason, each personality desire towards their betrothed won't be satisfied just from one personality having sex with them. Instead, the other personalities will get jealous with the personality that had sex with their betrothed, and conversely, they'll end up arousing all the urges towards them. With multiple personalities with layers of desire and love towards their betrothed, they're only finally able to satisfy the unsettling passion by having sex with each and every one of the personalities. So you got the triple threat depending on how many beings are in the chimera. Hey, that's a win. That's an absolute win. Also, let me do something real quick. Okay. So Chimera is definitely going to be bumped up to EXS. Now, the Dark Slime. Dark Slime is going to be an interesting one. If I can find a good reason. Okay, let me see. They're much more aggressive. It's produced by a division, so it's a larger family. And there's a good chance that dark slimes are actually other women that were taken into control. So it can be RNG depending on what kind of woman was kind of transform into a dark slime. And the main draw is that have high thinking ability and are able to cast spells. So they're very possessive. They possess a high yield of intelligence and the capability to act on their own free will. And they're pretty much based on succubi. However, they're not really wife material. You can try, but it probably won't go well. It probably wouldn't go well. But if you're the kind of person that just wants to go for a very intense fling, then I guess it's better off. I think it's just better off that we can just leave it at S+. Not much changes. But at the same time, not much to really break the mold either. But just make sure you bring yourself. If you bring like a female partner, you're probably gonna have a rough time. Just a thought. All right, Demon. Now this one I kind of had to go back to thinking of the interspecies reviewers kind of explanation as to how to have. Oh my god, Void bro. Thanks for the follow, man. I know I talk about some pre-degen shit, but yeah. What's good, man? I'm pretty sure that was pretty loud, so that's what kind of startled me. Let's see. I was kind of going, when I was talking about the demon beforehand, I did kind of evoke the whole explanation as to how to properly have a relationship with one in interspecies reviewers. But I think the same rule will probably apply as long as we kind of mention the whole contract system that's put into play. I'm doing pretty good myself. I just had a bit of a power outage a while ago, so this stream is kind of back up after a bit of a spill. Thankfully, nothing too prolonged to the point where I probably have to do this episode tomorrow. But at the rate that I'm going, I should be fine here. And also, this is what I usually do before heading out to work, so it's a nice little kind of escape for me as well. But now, let's just keep going to degen shit. Alright, let me just look over. Yeah, here's the mention in the pack. Because I think if you, damn it, now I forgot what it was. Hold up, let me see if I can actually pull it up. Okay, yeah, now, if we're looking at the way that they interpret it, demons are one of the most frowned upon races for being seen as cruel and selfish. but that's because people don't know how they work. Demons are a race that love to fulfill contracts established to the letter. For example, if one asks a demon to marry them with the proposal, "I will make you happy," she will demand that they make them happy all the time. Okay, so it's one-sided. But if they propose, "Let's be happy together," she'll be a perfect wife, but she'll be a bad mother, and so on. Anyway, they will fulfill their contracts and are very loyal to them. For this reason, if one demands something from a demon, they need to see all the terms solidly and literally to avoid mistakes. So, if you are planning on having a relationship with a demon, the best thing you have to do is make sure each and every single bit of detail in the pact is practically laid out, set in stone. So maybe you have to write a whole entire paragraph with MLA format, 12-point font, double space. You have to do that just in order to make sure that nothing gets missed. Nothing gets missed. And that's the same rule kind of applies to MGE too. Yeah, once a man has walked along the path to corruption, the demon will propose a pact that mainly says, for offering everything to me, I promise you eternal pleasure. Most men would gleefully offer everything if it would make the days of pleasure and vision become a reality, make that pleasure last for eternity. The pact is bound with sorcery and can never be broken. From the moment the pact is sealed, eternal pleasure is guaranteed. Along with that, a man is bound to eternal submission to the demon. A man will even come to experience arousal and take delight in submitting to her. So, one-way street. But if we go by the interspecies reviewers kind of barometer, just say you want a happy life and marriage together. And the other part of this will pretty much ring true. Regardless of it not being part of the pact, the demon will cook whatever their partner desires every day. And visit clothing stores to acquire whatever outfits they desire to wear, what their partner desires to wear. It seems that their nature to give into one's demands spoil them regardless of the pact. Deep love and overprotectiveness is the reason they always want to keep their partners near them. Basically, it boils down to a marriage compact. And the reason behind the radical beliefs may be that they are worried about humans because they are so weak and they want to protect them at all costs. So, very strong candidacy. Very, very strong candidacy. Never took me for an interview. I mean, that's what kind of motivated that is what kind of motivated me to do the Monster Go ranking in the first place. Because I actually was interested in the whole concept of like the interspecies reviewer. It sounds like too much work. Yeah. It does sound like too much work, but at the same time, it may help you from having like the legit wife or partner from hell. Literally. And they can be any size you want them to be. Any size, any form, anything. Just so long as you provide the, as I like to call it, the fluid tax. It's very yeah, you want to avoid that. Because there are some points where, and I'm pretty sure there's some people that might have experienced that, like, they had a partner that was very sweet, very kind, very outgoing when they were dating them. But the moment that they marry them, they become the absolute worst person imaginable. The tiger trap, as some people would call it. They become very controlling, they become very abusive. They become very, very different from how they were when they were dating. That's why some people recommend, if you're in a relationship and you really like where things are going, spend at least 1 to 2 years with them and see if any of that comes out. But at least you saw the red flags well enough to kind of 86 out of the situation. But there are some people that are way too crafty for their own good and just wait for that time where everybody's guard is down. And those are like the lowest of the low individuals. Absolute chameleons. All right. I'm drawing on a little bit too much. Let's go to the echidna. Okay. If you're willing to go through the Legend of the Hidden Temple, you may actually be rewarded with the echidna. Because they are definitely the ones that are very family oriented, Lamias. Out of all monsters, their childbearing has an extreme peculiar nature. Of all the children they ever give birth to in their entire lives, only the first is an echidna, the same as her mother. Every daughter born after that are varied in race, appearance, and nature, and thus new types of monsters that have never been born before are reared by them. They're also called the mother of monsters. The reason they seek superior men in the first place is often birth, to birth even more new variants of powerful monsters. After getting a husband and charming him to becoming theirs, they devote themselves to baby making and getting pregnant with their husband's children in order to fulfill their desire to give birth to the greatest monsters. So, if you like having a large family, the echidna is definitely for you. Especially if you absolutely do like having, not only like having kids, but also raising kids too. But they seem to go for the very strong types. You know, the ones that would actually be able to survive the various traps and various deadly oppositions that stand before you before ever reaching to the echidna. That's why I say, if you're willing to go through the Legend of the Hidden Temple, you are pretty much set in stone for just non-stop breeding action. But would I say it would be a good idea? Hey, Dark Man, what's up? Does she cook? I mean, what is there to cook inside a trap-laden temple? Not a very serious move, eh? Yeah, sometimes you have to kind of like take a back seat for a little bit. Just relax. If you take everything too seriously, you're just gonna become much more miserable as time goes on. Not with a cup of joe in hand. She's a little... I don't think it's random though. It depends on like what kind of genes you're bringing to the table. Say if you're like a reptile man, the firstborn is definitely gonna be an echidna, but after that, it's gonna be reptile stuff. But after that, nah. I think she's still gonna be she's gonna still remain at S+. simply because if you're not capable of surviving the traps, you're pretty much done so. So only the strong deserve the echidna. All right, moving on to the Gandharva. They're a type of harpy. Okay, let me see if I can find something that would. Well, if you like hearing good music, this is definitely the one for you. However, they don't seem to be... Wait. They feed on fragrance. The scent coming from their partner's body is an unbearably wonderful treat to them. During sex, the essence alone is enough to satisfy them. Will trim in the face and husband. There's not really much else to really harp on about. There's not really much to harp on about the Gandharvas, other than that they're very profound musicians, and the music that they play calms the nerves and also kind of kicks the libido up into overdrive. But they have a bit of a scent fetish, if that's one thing that makes a bit of sense. So if you're smelling like if you smell like Old Spice, smell like a man, they'll be pretty much on to you. But if they could play Smoke on the Water and still get you absolutely kicked into overdrive, then yeah. Well, come to think of it, they could probably play any instrument as they damn well please, as long as it's a string instrument. A harp, guitar, electric guitar. Yeah, I think as long as it's a string instrument, they can pretty much yeah. A large variety of harpy with golden wings. They are master musicians that revere the goddess of love, Eros, and in some regions they are treated as divine beasts rather than monsters. They have a peculiar dietary habit of feeding on fragrance, and they're always emitting fragrance from their own body. They're a cheerful race with a profound love for music, but they're also fond of other people and are very lustful. And they tempt those that they find with their sweet melodies and sweet fragrance and alluring beauty. And let me tell you, she is stacked. Absolutely stacked. Just gonna play the wall. I mean, she is playing one kind of wind instrument. If we're going into this kind of territory. But yeah, I'll just leave her at S+. Now the hot just got strings to it. but don't you want like a no strings attached kind of relationship though? Okay, moving on. The Hakutaku. Practically guaranteed EXS. Because here's the thing about them. And let me see if I can find the detail. Yes. Here we go. Not only can they obtain information from those they touch, but they also have the power to impart their own knowledge and share it with ones they touch too. By using this ability, the knowledge they possess is passed down from parent to child. The tremendous knowledge they have by nature is the crystallization of ancestral wisdom continuously accumulated generation after generation. As teachers, they are the finest caliber, and there are too many examples to name of pupils who went on to become well-known scholars or sorcerers. Their tutelage is accurate and easy to understand, but perhaps they are monsters. The teaching method they use for their partners to strike their fancy gradually become more in-depth and involve physical contact, so it brings them extremely close mentally and physically. Along the desire to teach the partner they fancy about pleasure and the proper way a partner ought to be, they have a habit of thirsting for knowledge and wanting to know everything about their partner. By closely interacting, they perform a detailed investigation concerning everything, including their natures, qualities, preferences, fetishes, and even which erogenous zone is that partner's weak zone, a weak point. So, they are very, very adaptive, very smart. Yeah, of course I'm not slick. That's the point. That is actually the point. Yeah, they're pretty much more scholarly than sages. A wizard is very versed in magic, but sages have a very huge disposition to knowledge. Very huge disposition to knowledge. Absolute EXS. Because here's the thing, if you have a family, every child that you have after that and onward is pretty much going to be a prodigy in their own right. They're going to be prodigies no matter what the situation is. And they know your weak points. They know how to make you go balls to the wall. They know everything about you, from the deepest detail down to every thought that you have, because you shared it with them. Now, Hinazumi, the next one, is gonna be a personal bias of mine, and I'm very cheesed to meet her. I don't know, man. I don't know how it came to be. I don't think it was ever like this until like Hako's Bales came into the picture. I don't know how it just came to be, but the fact that it just leads to so many mating press jokes is just it just makes me laugh so much. And it translates here too. This is one of my biases here. But if you are someone that is capable of like sparring, martial arts, or hand-to-hand combat in general, if you are really good at that, you pretty much, and if you win on top of that, if you win, she is yours. But she's not gonna go down without a fight. She will very well kick your ass if you're not prepared. They're overly confident and pugnacious, having a disposition almost as intense as fire. Even though most of them have a small body, they excel at martial arts, and when they spot a man who also has knowledge of martial arts, they'll assertively challenge them to battle. But as long as you have like maybe water on you, you might be good. Water is a weak point, obviously, and when they have it poured on them, the flames of their coat temporarily weaken and the color changes, growing wider. Also with that, the fighting spirit and violent temperament is also lost, and their timid nature had to be hidden by the flames become exposed. The liquor that contains a lot of essence is highly even more effective. Even if But the cool thing, during sex, part of that flame will transfer into the bodies of their partner like a spreading fire, and they will be able to temporarily drape themselves in the Hinazumi coat. It is said that the coat of flames grants the wearer high resistance to fire and heats up and activates the body, allowing the constant utilization of the maximum extent of their power. Additionally, it also enables the feat of covering one's fist in flames, and in the Mist Continent, it is not uncommon to see a couple of fighters, a Hinazumi and their partner, covered in flames together. How the fuck is that not cool? How is that not cool? Is it a hamster? Seems like a mouse to me. You legit bro. Who doesn't want fire fist? Who doesn't want the fire fist? But yeah. Sometimes you just gotta work for the ending that you want, right? And since it is my ranking, I am more than happy to. The bias is kicking in. Like, you don't feel you're on fire. It becomes like a natural coat to you. And also, there's another thing about me. I have a very huge weakness to the Cheongsam. The Cheongsam is one of those outfits that just strikes me every single time, without fail. Oh, I also forgot to mention this bit. However, being draped in flame also has the effect of causing constant arousal, and the arousal will also be directed toward the original owner of the coat, the Hinazumi. Of course, if lacking an opponent to fight, he'll lash out at his mate with that arousal. So, the judge has made the call. You know what must be done. Hey, Chidori! How's it going? Fancy meeting you here? Also, thanks again for that King of the Hill video. I knew was just absolute comedy there. But the potential was already there. Alright. The Kikimora. Let's move on to this one. The Hinazumi, mating press out of 10. I'll just put it that way. Okay, the Kikimora, a type of beastman that serves humans and receives essence as a reward. They mainly appear in the homes of working individuals, waiting on them hand and foot while assisting them. Having a devoted and gentle disposition is their pleasure to treat the partner they have their hearts set on as their master and serve them. They're highly capable and can perfectly complete any kind of housework, including cooking, laundry, and even cleaning. Being sensitive to the subtleness of human emotion, just from appearances they can tell their master's food preferences and personal tastes, even if they don't tell them directly. They can even read the mood and physical condition that day. They perform optimal and consensuous service in accordance with what? What? They can even grasp how much lust is pent up, and if their master wants, they'll use their own body to perform obscene services and to satisfy them at any given time. A partner who becomes their master can live comfortably with peace of mind. Due to their support, they'll be able to exhibit their own abilities to their furthest extent. So they're pretty much the stay-at-home kind of wife, if we're putting it this way. They're absolutely devoted, and above all else, they'll take care of pretty much every essential need and desire with the utmost effectiveness, efficiency, and guaranteed results. But man, but the only thing is, it becomes, once you actually settle down with them, it may get a little bit difficult to just keep your hands to yourself from what MG kind of provides as information here. Okay. Even if that's the case, the devotion is unwavering. In order to correct a person's lifestyle, they'll briskly take care of every need. However, in what may be a vestige of the age of the former demon lords, when they had a habit of viewing the lazy as prey and devouring them alive, they will show the face of their monstrous nature more strongly than usual. They'll take care of the partner's tower. Yep. And after delicious, healthy, and nourishing meals at night in the bedroom, they're going to bed early together, and orderly life will be frequently in support. And they were originally harpies too, so take that with it you will. But yeah, they are actual wife. They're pretty much wife material, despite the whole loyal maid thing. But I don't know if it's going to be a conflict of interest if you're already very clean. But maybe there might be some spots that you may have missed around the house, and they could probably pick up on that too. But yeah, they're pretty much waifu material at that point. Yeah. The Krampus. Next up, I hope you like presents. Let me see. How can I properly convey this? They are very fierce, very ferocious. but they're very meticulous too. But I also want to kind of harp on the whole ferocious aspect because they can be extremely aggressive. But I guess when Christmas Day arrives, all that pent-up frustration and all the desires they had in mind just gets laid out front and center. Like, how can I put it? The day that Christmas arrives, be prepared for death by snoo snoo. That's the best way I could probably put it. That is the best way I could probably put it. Furthermore, the special day is a date set by these girls themselves as the appropriate day for offering all of their body and soul to their partner. In most cases, the day chosen is a day with a special meaning to their partner, such as their birthday or a holiday that's important to many people, such as the Chief's God Festival or Christmas, which takes place during the winter season and so on. So, birthday? Or a special kind of holiday. They make many preparations for that day. Not only do they prepare to go and marry their partner, there are also cases when they make arrangements to welcome their partner into their own lair. With the arrival of winter, Krampuses can be seen stuffing their prey into sacks and hauling them away on their shoulders. After such an abduction, they always roll out the red carpet for their partner without exception in a warm room where they provide a fancy dinner and they have it prepared, as well as pleasure of such intensity as to be considered violent. Additionally, the aggressive nature of their devotion affects more than just sex. For instance, there are many tales left behind of sort of which concern those who were hard to call good people being abducted by Krampuses, only to make a surprising return years later as fine people of character alongside their kidnappers turned wise, leaving people who wonder what on earth happened to them in the meantime. Hence, depending on the region, Krampuses have come to be told as monstrosity to come and punish bad children during their winter holidays. So you better have your good boy and girl points in a row, because if you're misbehaving or a very bad person, I'm pretty sure something's gonna get beaten out of you very fierce. Just saying. But I know situations like that, where some people just save like certain kinds of pleasurable moments for like special days, like Valentine's Day, someone's birthday, shit, and maybe even Christmas. But I guess they do have some essence of unconditional love, but the ones where they go all out are unconditional points. So I guess that kind of brings something up there. I'm pretty sure. I'm also liking the look of the Krampus too, so I might as well just give it a nice EXS. Exactly. They are pretty much the tall, imposing personification of correction is necessary if you're a bad person. correction is needed. Angry face, angry face, angry face. All right, now the living doll. I swear, man, if on the random freaking off chance that Joel ever comes across this, I'm gonna die forever. I'll probably get put through a freaking hole in the wall. I will legit get put through a hole in the wall. All right, I'm back again. I'm back. All right, we're back. We're back. Check 1, 2, 3. I'm gonna have to stitch all this together at the end of the day. I might do that over the weekend, so it's a bit more of a complete video. So, fortunately, the ones were probably cut out, I can probably put them together. But let's not miss a beat. We're on to the living doll. Okay, let's think. There isn't really much for wife material outside it for all intents and purposes. But you do bring them home with you, whether you like it or not. But the fun thing about them is that despite their porcelain texture, or from the look of it on the surface, the skin's really soft. Plus, living doll can pretty much range from different varieties and types. As far as a disposition goes, they always want a bit of attention. They always want plenty of attention. But even more, I would say, harrowing, you cannot destroy them. You can't run away from them. They are capable of reassembling themselves so simply. Like, you're practically bound to them at that point. But their selfish nature also kind of balloons into something else entirely. They will love you forever. They will stick by your side forever. So you might as well get very comfortable with the idea of living with a living doll forever. Let's say, for example, there is like a moment where, quote unquote, the programming kind of glitches. And they just constantly berate you. Or something or the other. But yeah, they're indestructible. They always want attention. They always crave company. They'll develop a relationship with you no matter the circumstances. They just want more of you. Plain and simple. But I'm gonna have to demote her to A. There's not much wife material you can really go around with. I mean, you can try. You're practically bound to her anyway. And for the love of God, I hope I don't get choked out because of this. I'm a nobody, man. I'm just in my little corner, hiding away. Yeah, exactly. The pocket yandere. Or is it yandere? Because she doesn't want you to leave. She will probably hate the idea of you leaving. She probably can't stand a single day, not even a second or moment, without you. So she just constantly warps to your location, or just pulls you to where she is bound to the location. And on top of that, yeah, that's pretty much it. Yeah, I'll just leave her A rank. Living armor. All right, living armor is next. And this is pretty much the polar opposite of the living doll. And another cool thing about the living armor is pretty much, well, you'll see what I mean. Okay. If they don't have an owner, they'll attack the partner in pursuit of they'll attack someone in pursuit of a partner in some cases. But for the most part, they result from armor that continued to fight along with its owner and sought power to protect its owner, eventually becoming a monster. Being armor, the fundamental principle that guides their behavior is a willingness to risk their own life to protect their owner in the face of any danger. After becoming a monster, the durability of the armor increases to such a degree that not even a blow that could crush steel or flames hot enough to melt steel could even phase it. Besides acting as an autonomous soldier, it can also be worn by their owner like regular armor. Once a monster has settled to their partner, their body will change to be the optimal form of having sex with them. But in their case, even the armor will become custom tailored to their owner and the partner. Someone other than their partner will never be able to wear them, but for their partner or betrothed, they become the best possible armor. They won't feel constrained, they won't feel the weight, and no burden at all will be placed on their body. When wearing them, one another's bodies will join together in essence, and demonic energy will mix together, resulting in a sensation as if they become one. They will share each other's senses, and though merely human, the partner will be able to exhibit physical abilities and sharp senses like a monster. On this occasion, there is no sensation of pleasure, but they both experience an uplifting feeling of security like that of an embrace. And the more you have sex, the more in tune that armor is. So you practically sync up with the living armor no matter what the situation is. And the tighter the bond, the more the armor feels like a second skin. But it also kind of reminds me of that little theory of like Master Chief. What, like, is there a point where the armor just kind of I'm pretty sure someone can know exactly where I'm going with this. I mean, he has like Cortana in his head. But I think it was like some sort of joke theory. If the armor kind of jacks him off. Something along the lines of that. Would it be the same kind of concept when it comes to the living armor? Who knows? But the fact that you become one together, that means every single situation that you have, you won't even feel much of a thing outside of like the armor just being a part of you. And no one else can wear it even after a certain point too. I mean, at that point, you're already married to each other with that. But a living armor doesn't really provide much else outside of like absolute protection. So as a waifu, it's kind of blurred. It really is kind of blurred. Because on one hand, they are with you body and soul. But as its own separate entity, it doesn't really do much. So I'll just leave her at S+. Alright, next up is the mermaid. The fish! Mermaids have the most gentle disposition of all monsters. They almost never aggressively attack humans. Keyword, almost. If we can kind of take into consideration another kind of mermaid, especially in the tropical region. Most of them are hopeless romantics, and they're always waiting for someone who would become their partner. They appear at beaches on top of reefs, and dreaming of their yet unseen princes. They sing in a beautiful voice. Their singing voices contain magical power, and those who hear their songs are completely charmed. They get dizzy and are drawn back to them, and they end up being destined to meeting them as their princes. But once they find someone that they want, once they find someone that they see as their prince, the bump and grind is going to be aggressive. And above all else, being with a mermaid is pretty much living your young years living your young years eternally because of the blood that they have. But I don't know, do they wait, hold on. Oh yeah, there's the blood play aspect to it too. The mermaid blood has the effect of dramatically increasing the lifespan. It is said that it has a function to make one's lifespan match her own because a mermaid's lifespan is longer than a human's. Without exception, their partner will be made to drink their blood. So if you don't mind that little tidbit, I think you should be fine. And they're romantic. They're hopeless romantics. So you better treat them right. You better. All right, next up, the Nurenago. Okay. Let me see. They're in the same vein as the Kikimora, and that they're very devoted. You just have the special bonus of the Nurenaga being a slime. And boy, do they really like to milk the shit out of you. They usually appear on rainy days too, so I guess depending on the situation, it can be very romantic or very horrifying depending on how far you are from them. But up close, you can see the great appeal. They can even turn part of their body into certain clothing that seems very alluring. Their base form does have a bit of a kimono because they're from the Zapanga region. Yeah, out of all the slime monsters, they're especially proficient in mimicry. They can form clothes that look and feel almost like the real thing. They usually go with the kimono, but they can make any clothing as long as they've seen it before. So if you show them like a fashion catalog, you already gave them a good repertoire of what kind of outfits they can wear. They don't need to, well, maybe they might need to see the texture of it just to get a good idea of how it feels. But if we're putting it into perspective, if they could just eyeball it and just get it down pat based on their overall makeup, they can pretty much wear anything and everything they want. Yeah, perhaps they've evolved and adapted into the Zapanga environment, which has comparatively many docile and devoted monsters. Even though they are slimes which fundamentally have low intelligence, the knowledge and techniques necessary to perform household chores as a partner is imprinted in their instinct. In this way, they can skillfully and briskly take care of their partner's needs, wants, and desires. Also, they start making their clothes according to their partner's desires, yada yada yada. Seems as though their devotion and service in the same way other members of the slime family, the number of individuals is increased to division. In the case of an ordinary slime, having been just born, the little slime yep. As for the Norinaga, it said that even just from being born, they'll help their mother with the housework, having devoted behavior. Yeah. EXS. Simple. Next up is the Owl Mage. Alright, now let's see if I remember again. Yeah, the Owl Mage is a pretty big one. So I'm just looking at something on Twitter. Fitboxing Hokuto account got suspended for apparently posting a jacked up version of Rao. Okay. Yeah, a whole lot of floof. And if you also want to see what my ranking in general is so far, well, I do have the ranking of all of them and the ranking of what I have, as well as a template if you want to do your own as well. I'd be more than happy to join in the conversations as well. Just want to see what other people have in mind for their rankings in particular. Calm and gentle disposition. They're almost in the same category as the Hakutaku, in the sense that it's just a lot of whatchamacallit, a lot of knowledge intel. They're endowed with extremely high intelligence and wisdom, like an owl should. They're the Stolas types. Okay, whenever they enter breeding season, the desire for humans' reproductive powers is overpowering, yet it doesn't cause them to lose control of themselves or become more ferocious. So in other words, they act as calmly and prudently as usual while prioritizing satisfying the urge to breed. Those who are their type, this makes them even more terrifying huntresses. They hunt under the cover of the darkness of night, and glare at their prey with shining eyes. It makes an eerie impression and gives an ominous premonition. If someone in a dark forest where they can't see ahead of them turns their eyes, a light suddenly appears if their evil eyes. It's evil eyes, and in that moment they'll end up putting in a spell. Oh, they're a bit more passionate with intercourse. And with a huge abundance of feathers on them, it's practically just hugging a soft pillow. A soft, feathery pillow. But it may get a little bit unsettling if they're just constantly staring at you. Oh. Maybe, maybe not. There might be some sort of strike zone with this. But harpies definitely do have a very strong sense of passion. And considering their overwhelming amount of knowledge and other stuff, if you're the kind of person that likes very brainy people, I forgot the word I'm looking for, but you can never go wrong. Alright, next up is the Pharaoh. And let's see what we got. Don't have someone else do for you. Yeah, someone like taking control, or what do you mean by that, Jadori? All right. The disposition varies. Insufficient. The one who disturbed the sleep, who chose his eternal partner, one of the thousands of years of continuous slumber. I don't see much waifu material for a pharaoh, to be quite honest. But maybe it's just me. But they do have a very commanding appearance and essence to them. Like even just like a simple shout of orders just gets everybody to drop everything and just follow her lead. That said, it could be I don't know where to really go with this one. Or the fact that there's not a whole lot of information I can really go on with how I can probably contextualize this into a waifu situation, really. All I can really say is that they have the look, they have the personality to really command an appearance. But I guess if you're also beside the pharaoh, they can pretty much have others cater to your whim at their behest. I mean, you would get to be treated like royalty at that point, so I don't know. Let's just get a little acknowledgement. Ah, I see. Yeah, that's right. You do get a freaking pyramid now that I think about it. And that's free real estate. It didn't dawn on me until now. But now I'm starting to see it. I'm starting to see it now. Practically betrothed. 1. You are already royalty. Say if you're like a random Joe Schmo and you barely had anything, not even a coin to your name. Beating a pharaoh is pretty much having the ultimate sugar mama. You have a fucking pyramid. I can see it. But will I give the rating of EXS? That's where I'm kind of drawing a blank at. But then again, it's 1,000 years worth of catch up. 1,000 years of catching up on stuff that has been probably sitting around for who knows how long. That's already a whole lot of pensive frustration right there. For thousands of years of slumber. But where's the love? That's the other thing. So you know what? If you're shut in, it's not that bad. If I'm going from my perspective though, I would say this is still gonna be an S+. No matter, like, I'm actually conflicted here. I'm actually conflicted. Like, this was something that should have been a no-brainer to me, but the amount of details that they have is just, I feel like it's not much. But the disposition varies, so depending on what kind of fairy you run into, it could be someone who could be very gentle and kind, someone who could be very aggressive and forthcoming. It could be a mixed bag, really. It could really be a mixed bag. I'm actually having to think for this one. I'm actually have to think very thoughtfully about the kind of ranking we're gonna have to give the Pharaoh, because it's a tough choice. Well, she looks so beautiful on top of that. Help me. I don't know where to go with this. But then again, you know what? Fuck it. It's nice over Egypt, baby. Nice over Egypt. I ain't probably listen to that song. Yeah. Oh, you done a list like this too? Now I'm kind of curious as to what you have for your rankings. All right, the Pyro. And I'm running on time. I only have 28 minutes left before I end the stream here. I just wish those power outages didn't happen. I hope it doesn't happen again. All right, Pyro. Oh, I just love her aesthetic though. I just love her absolute aesthetic. Hmm. Bold, cheerful, and lustful. Since these are hedonistic and uninhibited, girls are eager to engage in lascivious behavior as soon as they spot a human. They'll attempt to get their hands on them immediately. They stand out even among the succubi family, which is full of lustful girls, and are known as a race that is highly aggressive, especially towards men. Yeah, this is definitely not a waifu in any stretch of the mile. However, the kind of potential that they give you in terms of like raw sexual pleasure would probably be somewhere far beyond like one night stand kind of deal. Yeah, Pyro is definitely gonna stick around the S+. Yeah, that seems about right. Next is the Raiju, which may also sit at S+ because it's relative with the same kind of wild woman. Bold, ferocious, and lustful. Yep, they're hedonists that seek pleasure that pierces the body like lightning, who live for the sake of the moment of an orgasm. They'll attack and do things without hesitation as soon as they spot someone. They're able to convert the pleasure coursing through their body into power of lightning, and they can cover their body in it. Such a sick outfit, too. Excuse me. If someone is liked by a Raiju and becomes their husband, they'll have to spend their days having intensely stimulating sex with a monster devoted to the pursuit of pleasure. By becoming an incubus, a man will be able to enjoy the lightning-like pleasure that can be processed by the human mind as sort of a numbing, stimulating pleasure without passing out. They continue to maintain the greatest pleasure they built it by having sex with their husband, by converting it to a form of current and charging it in their body. Due to this, their body can always be pierced by the greatest pleasure induced by their husband. At any given time, they can continuously ruminate the best moment when they were brought to orgasm by their beloved husband while focusing their mind on him. I think it's in the same situation as the Pyro. However, it would be the most intense bedroom action you'll ever experience because of how much electricity is jolting right through your veins, throughout your entire body. Everything just becomes electrifying. Absolutely electrifying. Well, give me a second. And I'm pretty sure the electricity isn't as dangerous too, as long as it would divide you. However, I guess it kind of changes up as well. But when you really look at the full picture, it's the same situation as the pyro. The sex will be amazing, but when you really come down to it, there really isn't much room for some kind of regular family life. But then again, there are people that have like very wild marriages too. Like it's almost inconceivably horny. Yeah, there's S+. Let's stick with this. I still do have a good number, but I think I might stop with the Ryu. If anything, at the pace I was going, I may or may not have been able to get to like the last few before Friday if those power outages didn't happen. But yeah, let's go to the Ryu. Proud Dragon type Lamia. Okay, let's see. They possess a gentle disposition and are full of benevolence, so they aren't monsters that aggressively attack humans. However, it is said that they pretty much have no problem whatsoever finding others, because humans who worship them provide people as offerings, and besides, there are many who would personally desire to become the god's partner. In private with their partners, their ordinarily imposing, dignified figure of a god is nowhere to be seen. Instead, they reveal a side of themselves that's sweet and devoted, befitting of a monster of Zipangu. However, the amount of desire they have for their partners and the amount of essence needed to maintain their immense power makes ordinary monsters pale in comparison. After being sought by such charming beings, their partners are unable to resist, and the amount of time they spend coupling makes the amount of time ordinary monsters spend in coupling also pale in comparison too. They'll end up contributing a great deal more essence, an amount far beyond what one would offer any ordinary monster. Pillow Princess. They might, no. They need more essence, so they'll be rather aggressive too. Or maybe they might be Pillow Princesses. Who knows? And you have to do this almost every day and night. But if you're close enough to your Ryu, there's one scale out of all of them that's growing backwards called the reverse scale. It is said that one should never touch it. If one touches the scale, the Ryu will be overwhelmed with a rush of pleasure so intense that it almost causes him to lose all sense of rationality and self-control. For a while, they entirely become beings of lust and passion, transforming into female beasts who can't think of nothing but absolute snoo, indulging in pleasure and filling their wombs up with essence. Anyone foolish enough to touch the reverse scales will find their whole body constricted by their lower body. And the snoo ensues again and again until she's satisfied the urge. So, never touch the reverse scale unless if you're gonna be reaping the whirlwind. Those that really want that to happen, you are quite something else. And I wouldn't blame you. So go ahead, touch it. If you dare. But yeah, I definitely feel like the Ryu's definitely waifu material. Ryu is definitely a waifu material. As long as you have the stamina to back it up too. That's the other thing. If you don't have the stamina, you're probably gonna get, well, I'm pretty sure the amount of essence backflow that happens kind of feeds into you as well. So, I don't know. Maybe stamina might not be much of an issue. It's just a matter of whether or not you can really keep up the pace. That's how I kind of feel like it works out in the end. But whatever you do, if you really are prepared for what's going to happen next, don't touch the reverse scale. So, with the technical issues be damned, I'm pretty sure this would be the best time in order to call it a day, and I'm gonna save the other stuff for the other portion for tomorrow. That way, I also kind of abide by my schedule, and above all else, we can have a bit of an extended discussion after that too. And if anybody might be willing to kind of throw their hat in the ring for a discussion in general for the rankings that I have, you could probably just contact me on Discord. !Discord for the command, so I can go into that. So we could probably just have our nice little debate for the meantime. Or not really a debate, but a discussion would probably do. Maybe even just kind of quickly go over the rankings that I have and probably compare other lists. But that's all for me. Y'all be good, and the mission's all over. Take care, and see you tomorrow. Oh, wait. Hey, let me see. The untitled tall goose. I'll double take a look at this.